It is Thursday, November 27th.
About building this economy. It's about making Canada more independent. And it's about making Canada more sustainable.
The Prime Minister is in Alberta today, expected to sign a memorandum of understanding on a potential pipeline to the West Coast.
To replace them, they're about $7,000 a piece, so about over $100,000 replacement value.
Caught on camera, 2 trucks seen stealing a trailer outside a Stony Plain school full of specialized wheelchairs.
It's just been something that we've been so frustrated with for so long. We're so encouraged to see this site up for sale finally.
The former BMO building downtown that's been a pile of rubble for 7 years is up for sale with hopes the site can be soon cleaned up. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your Thursday morning. Nice to have you here as we start things off. Much like the evening yesterday, there is the fog out there in the city, but it's a little more than fog. There's smoke trapped in there. Air quality is a bit of an issue this morning. Corey is out and about. He'll have more details on that coming up in the forecast. But first, let's check in with Kim. What's going on, Kim?
Yeah, next half hour. It was the original selfie. We are talking about the 100-year anniversary of the photo booth and reminiscing on our favorite ways to take a pic. Remember, that thing is in a few minutes. First, the news you need to start your day. Ken, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim. Well, after months of negotiation and speculation, a pipeline agreement is expected today. The Prime Minister's itinerary says he will participate in a, quote, collaborative energy strengthening signing ceremony this morning in Calgary. So many have been speculating that Mark Carney will be signing a memorandum of understanding with Premier Danielle Smith on a potential pipeline to carry Alberta oil to the BC coast. MLA Jason Nixon has been at the table for these discussions and says this is the most confident he's been that there's a path forward for Alberta.
I'm very confident what you'll see tomorrow is big movement in that space that creates a pathway forward where our industry is going to be able to succeed, including in pipelines, but in other areas, and that we're going to see, hopefully, the regulatory system in our country change so that we can make a clear message to Albertans and Canadians that Canada is open for business and that Alberta is open for business.
Opposition Leader Naheed Nenshi says he hopes the deal has been made, but it may not be enough.
The MOU is necessary but not sufficient. It's really important to get the conditions right to get a pipeline built, but now the hard work starts. And that hard work is rolling up your sleeves and working with proponents, with Indigenous peoples, with communities along the route to develop a route that makes sense and a project that can get built.
The Prime Minister is scheduled to speak to reporters at noon today. A prominent downtown property is up for sale. The listing calls it an extremely rare opportunity, a corner lot in the heart of downtown close to the new LRT. This is the site of the former Bank of Montreal building that was demolished in 2018. In the 7 years since, it's become an eyesore. Regency Developments owns the property. It did not respond to CTV's request for comment. The pandemic interrupted Regency's redevelopment plans, and market conditions for tower projects remain risky. Still, downtown Councillor Ann Stevenson says there's no excuse for the lot's appearance.
I certainly don't feel that every effort was made to make that site as tidy and attractive as possible.
It's just been something that we've been so frustrated with for so long. We're so encouraged to see this site up for sale finally.
Councillor Stevenson says she has talked to the realtor involved. They're hoping the city can work with any new owner to make better use of the property while it waits for redevelopment. It is listed for $6 million. A wheelchair basketball organization has issued a public plea to the people who stole a trailer full of chairs. Leave it somewhere safe. The trailer was parked outside Memorial Composite High School in Stony Plain, full of 15 specialized basketball wheelchairs. Surveillance footage shows at least 2 people hitching the trailer to a truck and then driving off around 6 on Sunday morning. Ross Norton says the wheelchairs are rented out to different schools in Edmonton and the surrounding areas.
To replace them, they're about $7,000 a piece, so about over $100,000 replacement value. There's lots of trailers I can find to buy. The chairs are pretty valuable to us, And, you know, if the chairs get dumped off, it should be nice to know where they are so I can go get them and put them back into circulation in our programs.
RCMP say 2 trucks are involved, either a gray Ford Super Duty or a Chevrolet Silverado, and a red truck for possibly a Ford Super Duty. The trailer has the Society's logo on the side. A new report suggests more Canadians are dying while waiting to receive crucial medical care, data that Alberta does not track. The report by secondstreet.org shows waitlist deaths rose 3% across Canada year over year. In that time, more than 23,000 patients died while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic procedures. The findings are based on Freedom of Information requests. Some health groups only provided partial data. Alberta did not supply any at all, so the true total is likely higher. Alberta Health says it stopped tracking waitlist deaths in 2021.
Governments need to be a lot more accountable right across the country when it comes to this issue, tracking the data, analyzing it, disclosing it. You know, too often we hear about patients dying on waiting lists, not because governments come forward and let the public know, but because the patients, their families speak out.
Some people died while waiting for potentially life-saving care, including heart surgeries and cancer treatments. Most deaths were patients waiting for things such as hip and knee surgeries. But the group behind this report says these long wait lists could lead to an increased risk of falls, blood clots, and heart attacks. Edmonton police have identified a man found dead Friday night near downtown. Police say a community safety team discovered 42-year-old Burton Lee Gambler's body near 97th Street and 107 Avenue. Officers say he had apparent injuries. Gambler's death has been ruled a homicide. However, police will not say how he died for investigative reasons. Police are looking for surveillance video and witnesses. A semi-driver has been ticketed after a crash that derailed an LRT train in South Edmonton. Semi colliding with an oncoming train around 9 yesterday morning at the intersection of 75th Street and 51st Avenue. The windshield of the train was also damaged. Police say 2 train passengers were assessed by first responders on board and released shortly afterward. The driver of the train was taken to a medical clinic for precautionary reasons. Police say the driver of the semi was not injured and has now been given that ticket. The snow guns and groomers are at full throttle at Snow Valley. Ski Hill says now that the temperatures have dropped, it will keep making snow for the next several days, hoping to be open next Friday.
We're really excited about the season. We're super stoked. I mean, it's been a really tough fall because it's been so warm, but no, we're looking forward to it. And yeah, just getting ready to get at it.
If anyone has questions about lessons, they can call the Hill. Snow Valley says lessons should be good to go if the weather holds up. Now, speaking of that, we've got Corey out in the cold this morning, and it's not just the cold, Corey. There's also this fog smoke mixture out there.
Yeah, on the southwest corner where we are, not really seeing much fog here, but it is fairly patchy through the city. I think we're on the better side of things as far as the fog is concerned, so that is good. We just need to keep an eye out for that. As far as the air quality, a bit of an inversion, so keeping some of the pollution trapped at the surface. And on the west end of the city, there's a bit of smoke still smoldering from that fire just west of the city. As we take a look at our almanac for today, our high is -8. Average seasonal high, -2. Low of -10. That's average seasonal low. So let's take a look at our currents right now. We are at -10. Wind is light, so it's a bit cold outside, but at least the wind is light, so not adding an extra chill to the temperature. -9 at the airport. As we take a look at the forecast for today, we are going to be cloudy as we go throughout the day. Today, we might gain a couple degrees. That'll be about it. Some patchy fog this morning, cloudy as we go throughout the day. Slight chance of flurries throughout the early part of the day, but once we get into the afternoon and evening, better chance of seeing some scattered flurries. It won't be a consistent snowfall, but we could see them scattered as we go throughout the later part of the afternoon and evening. Tomorrow, -11 to start, -9 for a high. We'll see some breaks in the cloud into the afternoon. And then -14 Saturday morning, -8 for a high. Then we start to warm up a little bit more after that, and I'll have those details. Your 5 and 10 day forecast still to come.
All right, thank you very much, Corey. Well, people at the Edmonton International Airport had a chance to cross some things off their Christmas list. People could shop about 40 local vendors at the YEG Sustainable Holiday Market. So sellers had to be sustainable, Indigenous, or young people. The airport says it's a way to bring a bit of Edmonton to travelers.
So that's an opportunity for us to connect with the community and really provide an opportunity for people coming and visiting our airports to connect with what's happening here in the region.
It's not the first market for the airport. It also hosted an Indigenous market this past summer. Now is your chance to become a contestant on Amazing Race Canada.
All right, everyone, good luck.
Casting for season 12 of CTV's The Amazing Race Canada is currently underway. Applicants must submit a video explaining why they and their teammates should be chosen. Be sure to include what makes your team and relationship special. The detailed instructions on how to apply can be found on the CTV website. Deadline to apply is December 15th, so you have a couple of weeks to apply. And we've spoken to the casting producer on this show, Kent. He said, you know, you kind of have to have a great reel showing off your personality, and you have to be authentic as well, because they can kind of wean out the ones who are faking a cool backstory, you know?
Sure. And there's a lot of pressure because historically speaking, if you participate in Amazing Race Canada from the Edmonton region, you're going to be in the top 3 at the least.
No doubt.
Like, we keep showing out on that show.
St. Albert, Leduc, we've had so many great people from our region make it really far. There's something in our water here. I don't know what it is, but we're doing really well on that show.
We can explore, that is for sure. So get your tapes in. That's very fun stuff. Thank you very much, Kim. Let's take a look at the drive. As Corey mentioned, sort of that patchy fog still out there, certainly present on the Southwest Henday when I was out there a few hours ago. Jasper Avenue, 122nd Street to 118th Street, eastbound down to a single lane for utility construction until tomorrow. 116th Street at 108 Avenue. Westbound traffic closed for utility work as well until tomorrow. And 111th Street, 104 Avenue to 103 Ave closed for West LRT work until Sunday. Still ahead, hundreds still missing after an apartment complex fire in Hong Kong, and struggling sectors in Canada getting a boost, but some companies say they've been left behind. We've got the details on the way.
And before we head into commercial break, let's take a look at Edmonton's gas prices on this chilly Thursday. So the average cost around town, just above $1.15 per liter. Now, multiple stations are now at the low price of just over, or close to, $1.03 per liter, including the Circle K on Ebers Boulevard.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Canada's steel and lumber industries are getting a boost as they continue to struggle under American tariffs.
We must protect our workers and our industries who are most exposed to U.S. tariffs.
Prime Minister Mark Carney revealed that new support measures will include limiting foreign steel imports and enhancing support for workers. Countries that do not have a free trade agreement with Canada will now be limited to 20% of what they sold to Canada in 2024. The government estimates this could boost domestic steel sales by $850 million. The federal government will also cut freight rates to ship steel and lumber across Canada by 50% beginning in the spring.
I think the announcement today was basically for steel. I think it'd be great if I was in steel. I feel like we're in the moment of Sophie's choice where softwood lumber is going to be the child that's left behind.
Softwood lumber companies say they have been left out. Many owners say the new federal measures will not make much of a difference. Prime Minister Mark Carney is now urging Canada's steel and lumber sectors to look inward, saying Canada's heavy reliance on American markets has become a liability. Almost 90% of Canada's steel, aluminum, and lumber exports normally go south. Trade talks with the U.S. remain stalled after the fallout over Ontario's anti-tariff ad last month. The American president is threatening to change immigration rules for people from Afghanistan after 2 National Guard members were shot near the White House.
The reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training.
The Two West Virginia Guard members were on patrol when they were shot. Authorities say this was a targeted ambush. The two victims remain in critical condition. The suspected shooter, Ramanula Lakawal, arrived in the United States in 2021 under an asylum program for protecting Afghans after the U.S. withdrawal. President Donald Trump now says all immigration requests from Afghanistan should be suspended.
We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden.
President Trump has also ordered 500 National Guard members to Washington, in addition to the more than 2,000 already in the city. At least 55 people have died in an apartment complex fire in Hong Kong, and hundreds of people are still missing. This morning, firefighters are still dousing the last of the flames more than 24 hours after this all began. The fire tore through 7 of the 8 buildings in the complex. An investigation has been launched into the renovation project happening at this site at the time. 3 construction executives have been arrested. Nearly 300 people are still missing. Environment and Climate Change Canada has launched a new color-coded tiered weather alert system.
It just so happens that we are right on time for this winter storm. And so we hope that the color-coded weather alerts will allow the public to understand better their risk from this winter storm.
The new system will also include a color level: yellow for hazardous weather, orange for severe conditions, and red for very dangerous and possibly life-threatening weather. Officials say this new warning system will help people understand the severity of what is coming. And good timing with major storms hitting out east and air quality issues here in Edmonton.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
You're taking a live look right now through the River Valley Skycam, and it's not too bad as we start off. There's a little bit of patchy fog in the city, but it's a bit better than where we were at points yesterday and yesterday morning. So a slight improvement, which is great. -10 right now here in the city. Temperatures throughout the region pretty decent as far as no one being super cold. We are seeing -9 in Grand Prairie, -11 in Fort McMurray, Red Deer -13. That's one of the cooler spots. Here is your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. About -10 for the kids heading out, -9 at lunch, and -8 when they head home. Fairly cloudy throughout the day. This morning in lunch hour, there's a slight chance of flurries, but we do see an increased chance as we go throughout the afternoon and evening, about a 40% chance later on. Up towards Fort McMurray and then off to the northwest, Grand Prairie, we are seeing some scattered flurries. That is also the case towards Westlock. Most of it skirting around the city, but it looks like we could be seeing some flurries right now on the east side of the city and just east towards Sherwood Park. So we are seeing some scattered flurries in and around the region. Pretty scattered, though, nothing too consistent, and that'll be the case as we go throughout the morning. As we head into the afternoon, though, as I said, in the evening, a better chance that we will see some flurries here in the Edmonton area. Temperature for today, -8 for a high. Wind will remain light. Slight chance of fog throughout the region this morning. And again, just keep an eye on the sky for changing conditions.
Hello there, Matt Scooby with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For that, we will head to Anaheim, where the Canucks were taking on the Ducks. Brock Besser going to chase down the loose puck and find Connor Garland, and he does the rest. Undressing the defender and Peter Mrazek for a beautiful goal. Garland stick handling in a phone booth. A little dangle. His 6th of the season. He earns your must-see moment from Wednesday. Well, today on TSN, it's American Thanksgiving, so we've got a full slate of NFL action starting with the Packers and Lions at 11 a.m. Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. And that's it from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
We talked about this earlier in the week, but this year, the photo booth turns 100 years old. And there's such a cool piece of history, you know? Could be considered the first version of a selfie. So the first photo booth popped up on Broadway in New York City. It was invented by a Russian immigrant, Anatol Josepho. He called it the Photomaton. It cost 25 cents and produced a strip of 8 photos in about 8 minutes. Reportedly, that single machine saw 280,000 visitors in a span of 6 months, making it a cultural sensation. So from there, photo booths spread across the whole world, becoming iconic fixtures in arcades, train stations, and malls. So how does it work? Well, essentially, there's like a mini dark room in there. You can see little tanks of developing chemicals and a mechanical system that pulled the strip through each bath in sequence, just like a tiny photo lab. After processing, the strip was dried and dropped into the slot, warm and smelling a bit like the dark room. No technician, no waiting days, instant photography before instant photography existed, which leads us into 1937. The Polaroid camera was introduced. In 1932, the first 35mm film was developed for taking color photographs. And then we get into the digital age, uploading full albums to our computers and Facebook. And then, of course, we end up with the selfie using that incredible machine just in the palm of our hands. I wish that I had not maybe the energy, but the time to go and develop photos so that I could have gallery walls in my house. And I simply don't do that because it just lives on my phone. You know what I mean?
And then when you're on an airplane ride, you scroll through and figure out which ones to delete so you can have more storage.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, my cloud storage is like, I can't take anymore. Producer Penny has so many treasures, including just a bunch of strangers.
Strips of strangers from the photo booth somewhere in San Francisco. She picked them up, which is really cool. I loved like getting them out and then shaking them, kind of like a Polaroid photo. Let's head to your favorite way to take a photograph. So text us at 10400. Of course, we start off with the photo booth, the original selfie, the Polaroid, developing film, and waiting several days from London Drugs for that fresh, warm stack. Then we get into the digital age. Or do you simply just say, you know what, it just lives on my phone, and I'm totally cool with that? Kent, what do you think? I think my area would be the disposable camera with the, you know, the little dial.
For sure. So developed film.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to say I love using the Polaroid because I like the look of lomography. I like how it has the vignette on the side and like high contrast photos. And then you shake it like a Polaroid photo. Tell us your favorite way to take a photo. Text us at 10400. We're back after the break. Who's this?
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Good morning. It is 6:30 here on a Thursday. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. Certainly a little foggy still out there, a little smoky in some sections of the city. Corey is outside with the forecast coming up in a little bit, so we'll have more on all of that going on and what to expect throughout the rest of the day. But for what to expect in the next couple minutes, here's Kim.
Yeah, our side-by stories are next, including one about a hat designer using flames to create a fashion staple. These hats are being worn by big Hollywood names. That story more coming up in a few minutes. First, the news you need to start your day. Kent, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim. Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney is in Alberta this morning for what is expected to be a high-stakes day economically and politically. Many believe an energy agreement of some kind will be signed. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more on this for us this morning. So, Nicole, do we know exactly what's going to unfold today?
Kent, according to the Prime Minister's itinerary, he'll be meeting with Premier Danielle Smith at 9:30 this morning for a photo op before heading behind closed doors in Calgary. Then it's expected they'll come out to sign a memorandum of understanding. Carney alluded to the MOU yesterday.
The memorandum of understanding, it's about building this economy. It's about making Canada more independent. And it's about making Canada more sustainable.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Danielle Smith are teaming up teaming up to sign some sort of agreement. The province calls this new energy collaboration framework a key step toward unleashing Alberta's energy sector. There's speculation the agreement could lay groundwork for future pipeline expansion, which has received pushback from BC's Premier and coastal First Nation leaders. However, those from Alberta's energy sector are cautiously optimistic. Many hope the agreement will offset concerns from a new NServa report warning 2026 will see low oil prices and drilling activity.
What we want to see is that there's real intent behind the MOU to actually move something forward. And it's not just based on a nicety, but it's actually going to be fact.
The fact that we may be open for business again, that we can restart a lot of that foreign investment back in Canada.
This agreement and potential groundwork for a pipeline is considered a political gamble on Prime Minister Mark Carney's part. Political analysts point to the divisiveness from BC, but also potentially from some within the Liberal caucus on the issue. We'll have more on this part of the story at 7 o'clock. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. Now, British Columbia is involved in another war of words, this time in Saskatchewan. Potash company Nutrien has decided to bypass BC and build a $1 billion ocean terminal on the American West Coast.
It is unacceptable. It is deeply disturbing and problematic that Nutrien decided to go to Washington State instead of coming to British Columbia.
That Premier says, we don't want oil in this port, Mr. Speaker, because you can't get a boat into it. And then that same NDP policymaking Premier, Mr. Speaker, questions why another industry isn't making that very investment in our nation.
Nutrien says the proposed facility would create deep water access in the Pacific Northwest, enabling the company to move millions of tons of Canadian potash to global markets. Harsher measures are coming for commercial truck drivers with bad driving records in this province. Class 1 tractor-trailer drivers will have to provide their driving records when they move to a new job. It's an effort to have records follow the driver instead of their company. Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen says this move will allow companies to know who the good and bad drivers are before they get behind the wheel. This will be a phased-in approach beginning December 1st, a full rollout slated for June of next year. Pet ownership is about to be cheaper for people living north of Edmonton in Morinville. The town will soon stop making people license their pets. Instead, owners will be required to make sure their pets have an ID tag with up-to-date contact information. They will also be encouraged to consider microchipping their animals. Doing away with licenses will save people about $100 in one-time cost per animal and a $10 annual renewal fee, money that went into the town's general revenue stream.
Yeah, that loss of revenue wasn't substantial enough, and it definitely didn't outweigh the convenience factor of having residents, not have to come all the way down to the town office, register their animals, and then have to utilize the tag that we provide them. This just provides them so much more ease and hopefully get more commitment to make sure people have tags on their animals and get them home as quick as we can.
All other animal bylaws remain in effect. As with pet licenses, any animals caught in public without a proper ID tag could be subject to a fine. The change takes place January 1st. Chronic kidney disease has been called a silent killer. When symptoms start to show, it's often too late. The Kidney Foundation of Canada is now asking for increased screening to detect early warning signs. New data shows the death rate for Canadians with chronic kidney disease rose more than 70% since 1990. The foundation says it's a time for a national framework to encourage early detection and increase access to care. They say a simple blood or urine test is enough to find those warning signs.
So if we diagnose people earlier and we intervene earlier, then we have the opportunity to prevent people from ever needing dialysis or a transplant.
The foundation says chronic kidney disease affects 1 in 10 Canadians. That number is expected to rise from an aging population and increasing rates of diabetes and hypertension. An advocacy group for farmers says it will be lobbying the federal government for a guaranteed annual income. The National Farmers Union wants Ottawa to set up a 10-year pilot project, which would have farmers receive an annual income of at least $50,000. That rates would also rise based on inflation each year. The executive director of the union says a guaranteed income would help stabilize farmers' finances. Members are also asking for a cap on the profits of major grocery chains. Former Deputy Premier and Forever Canadian campaign organizer Thomas Lukaszuk was honored as a guest in the Senate by Alberta Senator Daryl Friendhandler.
The petition triggered a movement of over 10,000 volunteers and 6,500 registered canvassers, of which I was a proud one. At the heart of the effort is Thomas Lukaszuk, who I'm honored to welcome to the gallery today.
Lukaszuk was recognized for his work gathering more than 456,000 signatures from Albertans as part of the Forever Canadian petition to keep Alberta part of the country. The movement was launched to counter separatists looking for a referendum on Alberta independence. Canadian Legions across this province have gifted the University of Alberta more than $1 million. That money comes from the Poppy Fund, and it will support the U of A's Heroes in Mind Advocacy and Research Consortium, also known as High Mark. The consortium is currently conducting research on 3-MDR. That's a psychotherapy that is used to treat PTSD. It's been tested successfully with military members and veterans who did not respond to other forms of treatment.
That involves treadmill walking in an immersive environment when individuals walk over an hour towards images, self-selected images and brief exposure to help them walk in and through their trauma and onto the other side back into their families.
High Mark also helps advance education of military members, veterans, and their families. All right, let's go outside once again and check in with Corey. And it's a little chilly to start things off, Corey.
It sure is. You can see my breath a little bit. It is cold. You need to do the warmer jacket today for sure, and the gloves. And you probably won't be getting rid of them as we go throughout the day. The warm-up for today is limited. As we take a look at our almanac for today, that's not the almanac. Our high for today, we are aiming for a -8. Average seasonal high is -3, so well below that. Right now, though, we're not too far from that -8. We're at -10 in Stony Plain, -9 at the airport, -12 Elk Island, and -10 at the Blatchford Station. Winds on the lighter side, which is good, not adding too much more of a chill. Temperatures within the city coming in at -8 in Beverly, Summerside, and Rio Terrace. Then we've got -10 at the Blatchford Station. Out in St. Albert, -10 as well. For today, our high, -8, so we'll gain a couple degrees. Fairly cloudy throughout the day. Chance of some patchy fog this morning. With the cloud cover, there's a slight chance that we could see some scattered flurries. A better chance as we go throughout the later afternoon and evening. And then for tomorrow, -11 to start, -9 for a high. We'll see some breaks in the cloud for tomorrow. And then Saturday, -14 to start. That's still the coldest morning this week. -8 for a high, more sun on Sunday. And that's where our temperature turns around, -3. We could be just above the freezing mark on Monday with a chance of some snow. Celebrate Giving Tuesday with us. December 2nd and Trail Appliances South from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Bring in a new unwrapped toy or cash donation for Toy Mountain and enter for your chance to win a Whirlpool stackable washer and dryer valued at $3,000.
Thank you, Corey. Let's take a look at your drive, 20 minutes to 7 o'clock. 97th Street, 124th Avenue to Yellowhead Trail, northbound lane closure for guard rail installation until the 3rd of December. 80th Ave, 96th Street to 95A Street, all closed up for drainage work until tomorrow. This one is also until tomorrow. 110A Avenue, 141st Street to 138th Street, drainage repair there as well. Kim?
All right, thank you very much, Kent. Well, coming up, seniors getting surprised by a driverless car and a one-man band who also skateboards. Your sidebar stories are next. And a Ukrainian dance troupe in our city will get their biggest stage yet. They'll have some help filling the space. We'll get a preview in 10 minutes time. Also, cannabis may make you more impaired than you think. A new study on the impacts of high driving, especially with edibles, after 7 o'clock. Stick with us.
Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. brought to you by CIR Realty, making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta. Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Listen, you're a fashionable guy. Are you a hat guy, though?
Baseball hat guy.
That's fashionable.
Bucket hat on the golf course if I'm feeling saucy.
Okay, sounds good. Speaking of saucy hats, though, check out this Spanish hat maker's products. They are hot. The dog's like, hey, our place is catching on fire. The marks left by the flames are what makes Alejandro Mateo's hats unique. He basically is self-taught. He was inspired to start making hats after meeting a hat maker in Mexico and got down to work learning during the pandemic. Now his creations are selling all over the world with some big celebrity names like Viggo Mortensen wearing his hats.
Huh.
That's really cool.
That's cool. Guaranteed there's someone in the city making cowboy hats that exact same way.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. That is an old school cowboy hat tradition. For sure that's happening. Well, sometimes new technology can be scary. You don't have to tell me that. But two seniors in Minneapolis got quite the spook when they got into a driverless car.
Where is the guy? What?
Buckle up. Heading to Xanadu Coffee Company.
Oh, no, man. Do you trust this?
So these two thought they were waiting for a regular old Uber. Instead, they got into a Waymo for the first time. At first, they were a little unsure about the whole process and the safety, but the ride did go smoothly, which...
That would be really scary.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, we don't see those around here. So, like, the first time that happens, when I went to LA for the World Series, Waymos everywhere.
Everywhere. And people are just used to it.
Yeah,
so
for
it's
sure.
not even,
Between the Waymos and those carts that deliver your food, everywhere. Robots all over the place.
Future is here.
Yeah.
The future is here. A last look at this talented one-man band. We played this guy before. Fern Draper is a multi-talented musician. He is playing I Want You Back by Jackson 5. He uses his skateboard, a piano, drums, and glasses of water to create the cool sounds. I thought he was going to be playing the glasses while skateboarding. Now that would have been impressive.
Try that for your next trick, good sir.
Yes.
It's time for us to take a break, but still ahead, a group of Ukrainian dancers in our city taking a bigger stage with special guest stars.
Best for me, this is like I feel shiver and goosebumps and my heart opens.
Your snow report, just as Corey mentioned in his forecast. Snow may be on its way. There's a 40% chance. So Snow Valley right now is working hard on their new snow. We haven't had reports from them just yet, but soon. At the base, Marmot Basin, 51 centimeters. Lake Louise at 74. Same thing with Sunshine Village. So if you are headed out to the mountains this weekend for a ski or a snowboard, 74 centimeters at the base. It's quite good. Nikiska at 63 and 35 centimeters in Norquay.
Snow Report, brought to you by Snow Valley Ski Club. Opening soon.
An exchange of artistic energy is taking place at the Jubilee Auditorium tomorrow. Dancers from Edmonton performing with singers from Ukraine. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
As a Ukrainian Canadian, showing our Ukrainian culture is, I think it's really huge. As a dancer itself, it's really incredible, like dream come true to be dancing on such a stage.
Practice makes perfect, and the dancers of Vohan Ukrainian Ensemble are putting in the hours. Preparing to present Svitlo at Alberta's Northern Jubilee Auditorium.
It's just so much bigger than any stage we get to dance on normally that you can really just like kind of let yourself fully dance. You're running, you're not holding back, hitting our full potential.
Much of the motivation to hit that potential comes from the show's subject matter, as well as its cast, which includes 8 special guests from Ukraine's Gerdan Theatre.
When Vohon asked us to come here to Edmonton, we were so excited because this is like a new experience for us, for our group. Sing and dancing all together.
Their voices are booming in the studio. It's almost like spiritual and transcendental. It's more than just listening to a track and dancing to it. Like, you are feeling it in your body.
How does it make you feel when you're performing and you're sharing the music?
Best for me, this is like I feel shiver and goosebumps, and my heart opens in my love.
Dancers and singers taking the stage together. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Programming brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
You're flying high with the CTV drone. As we look down Jasper Ave, there's the Pearl, and looking eastbound where it is lit up quite nicely. And as we go throughout the morning, already starting to see a little bit of traffic in and around the downtown core. We noticed that also on our Henday Drive this morning to the southwest corner of the city. Temperature-wise, we are sitting at -10. We're seeing a lot of -10s in central areas of the province. Red Deer, one of the cold spots at -16. But everyone really not doing that bad. Average season low for us is -10. Here is your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. -10 for the kids heading out, -9 at lunch, -8 in the afternoon for a high for today. Now, there is a lot of cloud expected throughout the day today. A slight chance of flurries early on, but a better chance later into the afternoon and evening. We could also see a little bit of patchy fog this morning. -11 to start tomorrow, -9 for a high. Light wind tomorrow. We'll see a little bit of sun breakthrough in the afternoon. And then Saturday and Sunday, mainly sunny. -14 to start Saturday, the coldest morning, and then -8 for a high. -3 Sunday afternoon, and then Monday we could see possibly some mixed precipitation, maybe some wet flurries, a high of 1. In the days to follow after that, temperatures -3 to -4, followed by possibly a warmer weekend.
It is November 27th, and we have this wonderful milestone to share with you. Ian from Wainwright is 7 years old today. Happy birthday. Lots of love from Mom, Dad, Dean, and Ivy.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
Are you ready?
I am.
Solve a mystery.
Yes, sir.
Clue number 1. This gadget was invented by Edwin Land.
Edwin
Land. Clue number 2. It was first sold in department stores in 1948.
Oh. You know what? Could it be related to Remember That Thing?
I think so. And clue number 3. The camera sold out almost instantly, which is ironic.
Perfect word to use in that.
Oh, I don't know how to spell it.
Polaroid camera. What did you say?
Polaroid.
What do you mean you don't know how to spell it?
I don't know if it's an A or an O.
Oh, okay.
Polaroid.
Polaroid.
Yeah, there you go. I got it. I put an A.
You got it.
Yeah.
So
get this. Land was inspired by his 3-year-old daughter, Jennifer, took a picture on vacation. She was like, why can't I see the picture?
That's a good question.
He was like, good question. Yeah. I'm going to invent a camera that can do that.
Take it like
people are next level.
Yeah.
The news you need to start your day begins right now here on Thursday, November 27th.
It's about building this economy. It's about making Canada more independent. And it's about making Canada more sustainable.
Prime Minister in Alberta today expected to sign an energy deal with the Premier.
To replace them, they're about $7,000 a piece, so about over $100,000 replacement value.
Caught on camera, 2 trucks seen stealing a trailer outside a Stony Plain school full of specialized wheelchairs.
It's just been something that we've been so frustrated with for so long. We're so encouraged to see this site up for sale finally.
The former BMO building downtown that's been a pile of rubble for 7 years is now up for sale, with hopes the site can be soon cleaned up. Your morning starts right now. Just after 7 o'clock, welcome to your Thursday morning, Edmonton. The Prime Minister is here in Alberta today, expected to sign an energy agreement with the Premier, while BC leaders watch closely. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more on this for us this morning. So, Nicole, what exactly will be in this memorandum of understanding?
Kent, the Prime Minister alluded to it yesterday, saying it will be more than just one thing, saying that it's about building the economy, making our country more independent and more sustainable. But he avoided talking about speculation that there are concerns from BC MPs.
What's your message to BC MPs concerned about the pipeline?
Very good conversation.
Few words from the Energy Minister, who started his day yesterday briefing those BC MPs on what's to come. Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Smith are teaming up to sign some sort of agreement. The province calls this new energy collaboration framework a key step towards unleashing Alberta's energy sector. There's speculation the agreement could lay groundwork for future pipeline expansion, which has received pushback from BC's Premier and coastal First Nations leaders. Though in Ottawa, some MPs insist everything is fine.
It's premature, irresponsible for anybody to talk about, what people think and who's saying what until there is something that's on paper.
I support the Prime Minister, and Prime Minister has a vision, and something really good will come out of this.
You've got BC bought in, you've got First Nations leadership bought in, and First Nations communities bought in is the minimum expectation.
And we also heard from Alberta MLA Jason Nixon on this, who says he's been at the table for the MOU discussions. He says this is the most confident he has been that there's a path forward for Alberta. He also did caution his friends in BC, saying he does not want to see a tit-for-tat situation. More on this in half an hour. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. A prominent downtown property is up for sale. The listing calls it an extremely rare opportunity. A corner lot in the heart of downtown, close to the new LRT. This is the site of the former Bank of Montreal building that was demolished in 2018. In the 7 years since it's become an eyesore, Regency Developments owns the property. It did not respond to CTV's request for comment. The pandemic interrupted Regency's redevelopment plans, and market conditions for tower projects remain risky. Still, downtown councillor Ann Stevenson says it's no excuse for the lot's appearance.
I certainly don't feel that every effort was made to make that site as tidy and attractive as possible.
It's just been something that we've been so frustrated with for so long. We're so encouraged to see this site up for sale finally.
Councillor Stevenson says she has talked to the realtor involved, hoping the city can work with any new owner to make better use of the property while it waits for redevelopment. This is all listed for $6 million. A wheelchair basketball organization has issued a public plea to the people who stole a trailer full of chairs. Leave it somewhere safe. The trailer was parked outside Memorial Composite High School in Stony Plain. It was full of 15 specialized basketball wheelchairs. Surveillance footage shows at least 2 people hitching the trailer to a truck and driving off around 6 on Sunday morning. Ross Norton says the wheelchairs are rented out to different schools in Edmonton and the surrounding area.
To replace them, they're about $7,000 a piece, so about over $100,000 replacement value. There's lots of trailers I can find to buy. The chairs are pretty valuable to us, and if the chairs get dumped off, it should be nice to know where they are so I can go get them and put them back into circulation in our programs.
RCMP say 2 trucks are involved, either a gray Ford Super Duty or a Chevrolet Silverado, as well as a red truck, possibly a Ford Super Duty. The trailer has the Society's logo on the side. A new report suggests more Canadians are dying while on wait lists to receive crucial medical care. data that Alberta does not track at all. The report by secondstreet.org shows waitlist deaths rose 3% across Canada year over year. In that time, more than 23,000 patients died while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic procedures. The findings are based on Freedom of Information requests. Some health groups only provided partial data, and Alberta did not have any at all, so the true total is likely higher. Alberta Health says it stopped tracking waitlist deaths in 2021.
Governments need to be a lot more accountable right across the country when it comes to this issue, tracking the data, analyzing it, disclosing it. Too often we hear about patients dying on waiting lists, not because governments come forward and let the public know, but because the patients, their families, speak out.
Some people died while waiting for potentially life-saving care, including heart surgeries and cancer treatments. Most deaths were patients waiting for things such as hip and knee surgeries. The group behind the report says these long waits could lead to an increased risk of falling, blood clots, and heart attacks. Edmonton police have identified a man found dead Friday night near downtown. Police say a community safety team discovered 42-year-old Burton Lee Gambler's body near 97th Street and 107 Avenue. Officers say he had apparent injuries. Gambler's death was ruled a homicide, but police will not say how he died for investigative reasons. Police are still looking for surveillance video and witnesses. A semi-driver has been ticketed after a crash that derailed an LRT train in South Edmonton. The semi colliding with an oncoming train around 9 yesterday morning at the intersection of 75th Street and 51st Avenue. The windshield of the train was damaged as well. Police say 2 train passengers were assessed by first responders on board and then released shortly afterward. The driver of the train was taken to a medical clinic for precautionary reasons. Police say the driver of the semi was not injured but was given that ticket. And the snow guns and groomers are going full throttle at Snow Valley. The ski hill now says that temperatures have dropped enough to keep the snowmaking going for several days, and they're hoping to open next Friday.
We're really excited about the season. We're super stoked. I mean, it's been a really tough fall because it's been so warm, but no, we're looking forward to it. And yeah, just getting ready to get at it.
If anyone has questions about lessons, they can call the Hill. They're expecting lessons to be ongoing if the weather holds up. All right, let's check in with Corey, who has now escaped the chill of the early morning inside for a look at the forecast. And how's it shaping up out there, Corey?
It's shaping up not too bad. A little bit chilly outside for sure. Right now we are flying high with the CTV drone. We've got Grote Bridge. Traffic looks a little low there. We've got pancake ice on the river. And in the distance, Walterdale Bridge. Looking quite nice outside. We're not seeing much fog. There's a fog advisory in place for Edmonton, so you may notice it in some surrounding areas, so just be mindful of that. And as we look through the River Valley Skycam right now, not seeing any fog there, so that is good. So we take a look at our almanac. Our high for today is -8. Average seasonal high, -2. So well below that, but seasonal low is -10, and that's where we're starting off right now. Actually, we've just gained a degree. It's just updated, so -9 right now. At the airport, temperature there, -10. So we've seen the temperature at the airport drop a degree. Wind is light, so not adding too much more of a chill, which is good. Lots of cloud throughout the day today. Early in the day, there's a slight chance of scattered flurries, about a 30% chance. But late afternoon and as we go throughout the evening, about a 40% chance. So a slightly better chance that we could see some flurries later on into the day. It's not going to blanket the area. It's not going to be a steady snowfall or anything like that. It will be fairly scattered. Tomorrow morning, -11 to start, -9 for a high for tomorrow. We'll see the cloud break into Friday afternoon. And then Saturday, mainly sunny, lots of sun, -14 to start, so it's still the coldest morning of the week, and then -8 for a high. Sunday, our temperature does turn around. We'll touch on that a little bit later on with your 5-day forecast. Well, the art of Banksy Without Limits is in Edmonton for a limited time after its incredible worldwide success. Explore 200 of the artist's works, such as his original art, prints, photos, and sculptures. Enter for a chance to win a pair of VIP passes at ctvedmonton.ca.
Thank you very much, Corey. Well, the Edmonton Oil Kings showed off some special jerseys ahead of their annual teddy bear toss game.
There's Lewis, alternate captain Ethan McKenzie, defenseman Blake Fiddler, defenseman Reese Peterson, and of course, Brickley Bear.
Oh, I love them. Inspired by Edmonton, so it's always awesome, and they have the colorful cartoons on the bottom, which I love. I like the hot dog for Wiener Wednesdays that we have every Wednesday, and then the little beige teddy bear there at the front.
Aside from hot dogs and teddy bears, the jerseys also feature local landmarks like Rogers Place. The players will wear these jerseys for their Sunday, December 7th game against the Prince Albert Raiders. When the Oil Kings score their first goal of the game, fans will throw teddy bears and stuffed animals onto the ice.
Teddy bear toss is very important to us. So when we're serving 20,000 kids every single year, we need 80,000 items. And what the teddy bear toss does for us is it takes care of one of those items for us. We don't have to worry about our bears because we know they're going to come from the teddy bear toss.
After the game, the jerseys will be raffled and sold off during a silent auction. All the toys and proceeds will support Santa's Anonymous. When people at the Edmonton International Airport had a chance to cross some things off their Christmas list, people could shop at about 40 local vendors at the YEG Sustainable Holiday Market. Sellers had to be sustainable, Indigenous, or young people. The airport says it's a way to bring a bit of Edmonton to travelers.
So that's an opportunity for us to connect with the community and really provide an opportunity for people coming and visiting our airports to connect with what's happening here in the region.
It's not the first market for the airport. It also hosted an Indigenous market this past summer. It is 7:12 on a Thursday morning. So for today's throwback, we're talking about the 100-year anniversary of the photo booth, the original selfie. And we're asking you on the text line, what is your favorite way to take and receive photos? So there's the photo booth down there, Polaroid, developed film, which Kent is your favorite, the digital age, uploading albums to Facebook, and then finally, you're just like, you know what, I just keep it on my phone. Here's a wonderful text from Barbie. She says, I love developed film because there's this excitement in not knowing how the photos turned out until they're developed. Then comes the fun part, shuffling through the prints, finding the shots that you're in, and reliving the moment while you talk about what was happening right then. No edits, no filters, just whatever you captured.
Yeah.
I love that, Barbie. Thank you so much for texting us at 10400. I'm so guilty of this, Kent. Like, I will try and take the most perfect photo so you can take like multiple photos on your phone, of course.
Yeah.
And then I forget to just like live in the moment right then and there, especially because of my son. I'm always like, I want to take the perfect photo of you. I want to remember this. And then like I forget that, like, oh no, we're actually just living life right now.
Totally. And kids who have grown up with this, you can see a marked difference between them and us. Like, it used to be an occasion to take a picture.
Yes.
Because it wasn't always there in your pocket.
For sure.
And now kids these days are like, stop taking pictures of me.
Yeah.
Just let me live my life.
I know.
You know? Which is just a different vibe.
For sure. Text us at 10400 your favorite method to take photos. I personally like the Polaroid, which is always fun.
Yeah. Development. That was a fun day when the little packet came with all the pictures.
Nice, fresh and warm.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's take a look at the drive here. 13 minutes past 7 o'clock. Volume is building up northbound Winterburn Road at Highway 16A to Highway 16, so a little trouble and slow west of the city. Volume is building up northbound 170th Street from the Misericordia to 95th Avenue, and it's also slow east and westbound on the Yellowhead through the roadwork there, 121 to 127. Well, still ahead, the Pope makes his first foreign trip. We have the details, plus a misconception, cannabis may make you a better driver. New study shows that is not the case. In fact, you're actually impaired for hours.
Through the study, we learned that, yes, those effects were there. Impaired is impaired.
Just how likely a crash was for cannabis users inside a simulator. That's on the way.
And before we head into the break, let's take a look at Edmonton's gas prices on this chilly Thursday morning. The average cost around town, just over $1.15 per liter. That has remained steady for the last week or so. But the lowest gas price, multiple stations are now at the lowest price of close to $1.03 per liter, including the Circle K on Ebbers Boulevard.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
Well, Corey is live on location this morning at Willow Park Wines and Spirits. So, Corey, if people are looking for something to do over the holidays, maybe a unique gift, a tasting event could be the ticket.
Yeah, you know, and you don't have to go far. You don't have to go all the way up to the Okanagan to do it. You can just come down here to Willow Park Wine and Spirits and, yeah, do a tasting. And there's some really good deals to go with that as well. I'm with Janice this morning.
Morning,
you guys, good morning. You guys have a really good winter calendar. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so actually next week is our last week of our fall calendar.
Okay.
So we open in April. We've been doing events since September to December. They've gone over really well. And then we just launched our winter calendar that will do January to March.
Okay, what are some of the things that people can experience on the winter calendar?
Again, we have wine tasting. So there's Taste Day Thursdays, which are 2 for 1.
Okay.
Most of those are wine events. And then there's a few spirit events as well. We'll be doing a bourbon event, a gin, and a gin event.
Okay, so it's just not wine. Are there sometimes food involved as well?
Absolutely. So the Thursday nights, you always get a small plate with some cheese, baguette, nuts, dried fruit. And then on the Fridays or Saturday nights, it's a little more extensive of being a full pairing event.
Okay, and it's also a great gift idea, really. And people don't have to know if you're buying a gift. You can buy one, get one as well.
Exactly. And yeah, you can get away with that. But also you can come down, and we're doing Valentine's Day, and we've partnered with JSIC Chocolates, which is a local chocolatier. So we're super excited to be able to bring them in and let our guests enjoy that, and then go out to JSIC after and buy themselves some more chocolates.
Perfect. Do they tend to sell out fairly quickly?
They do sell out quick, and they launched last Saturday on November 22nd, so they are online. So on our website, there's an event tab at the top, and all of them are there, and they can be bought online.
Perfect. And is there a usual night of the week, or does it vary?
Thursdays, and then Fridays, and then because of Valentine's Day, we'll be doing a Saturday as well.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Janice. And we're going to be talking more about types of different events and also specials that are going to be happening here for Black Friday. That's just tomorrow, and some of these sales are already on, and they're pretty good. So stick around. We're going to be at Willow Park Wines and Spirits as we go throughout the morning. Right now, we're going to take a look at your weather. Here is a view from the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right, or it's free. Temperature, we've gained a degree now at -9. A little bit of a breeze outside starting to pick up, so it's starting to feel a little bit more of a chill. Temperatures throughout the province not varying a whole lot, anywhere from the -9 that we have here in the city to -15 in Red Deer. Fort McMurray, towards Lac La Biche, Westlock, and then up towards Spirit River, flurries and snow in those areas. It's kind of just moving around us here in the Edmonton area. We could see it east and northeast of the city right now. With this cloud cover, there is a chance that we could see some flurries as we go throughout the day today. It won't blanket the area, but they would be very scattered if we do see them. So just kind of keep an eye in the sky. Could see some scattered flurries on and off throughout the day. A better chance later in the afternoon and this evening. Temperature for today, our high is -8.
I think, Corey, the American president is threatening to change immigration rules for people from Afghanistan after 2 National Guard members were shot near the White House.
The reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training.
The 2 West Virginia Guard members were on patrol when they were shot. Authorities say it was a targeted ambush. The 2 victims remain in critical condition this morning. The suspected shooter, Ramanullah Lakawal, arrived in the United States in 2021 under an asylum program for protecting Afghans after the American withdrawal. President Donald Trump now says all immigration requests from Afghanistan should be suspended.
We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden.
President Trump has also ordered 500 National Guard members to Washington, in addition to the more than 2,000 already in the city. At least 55 people have died in an apartment complex fire in Hong Kong. Hundreds of people are still missing. This morning, firefighters are dousing the last of the flames more than 24 hours after this all started. The fire tearing through 7 of the 8 buildings in the complex. An investigation has been launched into the renovation project happening at that same site at the time. 3 construction executives have been arrested. Nearly 300 people are still missing. And Pope Leo is in Turkey today, his first foreign trip. Earlier in the day, he laid a wreath and signed a book of honor at a mausoleum for Turkey's founder. His visit to Turkey and Lebanon fulfills the late Pope Francis' plan to mark an important Orthodox anniversary and bring a message of peace to the region. He will also meet with the president and then travel to Istanbul for 3 days of meetings. That will be followed by the Lebanese leg of the trip. Environment and Climate Change Canada has launched a new color-coded tiered weather alert system.
It just so happens that we are right on time for this winter storm. And so we hope that the color-coded weather alerts will allow the public to understand better their risk from this winter storm.
The new system will include a color level: yellow for hazardous weather, orange for severe conditions, and red for very dangerous and possibly life-threatening conditions. Officials say the new warning system will help people understand the severity of incoming weather. There are major storms hitting the east right now and air quality issues in our city. Impaired driving continues to be an issue on Canadian roads, and cannabis may have a bigger impact than first thought. A new study is offering insight on what edibles can do to young people behind the wheel. CTV's Beth McDanielle reports.
From chocolate to gummies, there are people consuming cannabis edibles and getting behind the wheel.
There is still this misconception that cannabis makes you a safer driver, or it doesn't have an impact on driving, or it's not as dangerous as alcohol-impaired driving, when in reality, impaired is impaired.
Now, a new study conducted by the University of Saskatchewan with support from CAA is shedding light on the timing and effects of driving high with these products. Drivers between the ages of 19 and 30 were examined after taking about 10 milligrams of THC.
They got an edible in a controlled setting and were put on the driving simulator just to see what those impacts were, and then measuring that over time to see if they were driving at, say, 90 minutes, 2.5 hours, 4 or 6 hours. Were those effects still there? And through the study, we learned that, yes, those effects were there.
The findings reveal as soon as 90 minutes after taking the edible, participants had their speeding control, lane discipline, and reaction time impacted. And almost 1/3 of participants using the simulator were in a collision.
If you inhale it, the effect is somewhat more immediate, whereas with edibles, it can be sometimes quite delayed.
Mad Canada says it's important to remember edibles are very different from inhaling cannabis. It says sometimes people can take an edible but don't feel the effect right away, then go on to take more and more, and the high doesn't kick in until they're on the road. It says young people are more prone to this lack of knowledge.
You can see that they're vastly overrepresented in crash deaths and fatalities because they sort of have that air of invincibility. I'm a young person, nothing is going to happen to me.
CAA says its own study in Ontario this year showed 20% of drivers admitted to taking cannabis before getting behind the wheel, with research pointing to the growing issue of polyuse. This is when people combine cannabis with alcohol and increasingly other drugs, from painkillers to MDMA.
Especially ahead of the holiday season, to always drive sober. And if your plans do involve consuming alcohol or cannabis, that you're not the one that will be driving.
CAA says edibles are the most common and preferred form of cannabis consumption. It wants the education on its effects out there so behavior changes. Beth McDanielle, CTV News.
The Toronto Blue Jays have made a big splash in the free agent market.
You got to be excited. That World Series run is very attractive to other teams and other players. Players always want to win at the end of the day.
Dylan Cease, one of the top free agent pitchers on the market, has reportedly signed with the Jays for $210 million over 7 seasons. The deal would be the largest free agent contract in Blue Jays history. Cease is coming to Toronto from San Diego, where he had 215 strikeouts over nearly 170 innings last year. The Jays are expected to be aggressive during the offseason after their trip to the World Series. They're still looking for another big bat, along with some bullpen help.
Programming brought to you by A Very Merry Pops with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Good morning, you beautiful city. It's 7:30 here on a Thursday. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. It's a chilly start, but things will continue to shift around. There's a little fog in the area. Corey is out and about this morning. We're going to check in with the weather forecast on location in just a few minutes. But Kim, what else is going on this half hour?
Yeah, it was the original selfie. We are talking about the 100-year anniversary of the photo booth and reminiscing on your favorite ways to take a pic. Remember, that thing is in a few minutes. But first, the news you need to start your day. Kent, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kim. Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney is in Alberta this morning for what's expected to be a high-stakes day economically and politically. An energy agreement is expected to be signed in Calgary. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more on this for us this morning. So, Nicole, does the Prime Minister have the full support of BC Liberals on this?
Kent, the Prime Minister avoided questions yesterday about BC MPs who potentially have concerns. He then said the MOU is about making Canada more independent and making Canada more sustainable.
We enjoy a very open and engaged dialogue.
Canada's federal energy minister started his day yesterday briefing those BC MPs on what's to come. Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith are teaming up to sign some sort of agreement. The province calls this new energy collaboration framework a key step toward unleashing Alberta's energy sector. There's speculation the agreement could lay groundwork for future pipeline expansion, which has received pushback from BC's Premier David Eby and coastal First Nations leaders. Alberta MLA Jason Nixon says he's been at the table for the MOU discussions, saying this is the most confident he has been that there's a path forward for Alberta, and then said this.
It's also terrifying if we find ourselves anywhere in Confederation where one province can veto another province's resources. And so I would caution my friends at BC to think about what that means. Because if they can veto stuff that we're doing, that means we could veto stuff that they were doing, and this goes tit for tat, and it's not a good situation for Canadians. So instead, we want to approach this by working hard together and making sure that we can meet the objectives of both people in BC and Alberta.
And a political analyst says this type of agreement would have been impossible a year or so ago, pointing to U.S. President Donald Trump for creating this external crisis, and that Liberal MPs will follow their boss on their election promise to get big things done like large projects. More on this in half an hour. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. British Columbia is involved in another war of words, this time in Saskatchewan. Potash company Nutrien deciding to bypass BC and build a $1 billion ocean terminal on the American West Coast.
It is unacceptable. It is deeply disturbing and problematic that Nutrien decided to go to Washington State instead of coming to British Columbia.
That Premier says, we don't want oil in this port, Mr. Speaker, because you can't get a boat into it. And then that same NDP policymaking Premier, Mr. Speaker, questions why another industry isn't making that very investment in our nation.
Nutrien says the proposed facility would create deep water access in the Pacific Northwest, enabling the company to move millions of tons of Canadian potash to global markets. Harsher measures are coming for commercial truck drivers with bad records in Alberta. Class 1 tractor-trailer drivers will have to provide their driving records when they move to a new job. This is an effort to have records follow the driver instead of their company. Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen says this move allows companies to know who the good and bad drivers are before they get behind the wheel. This was going to be phased in beginning December 1st. The full program should be up and running June 1st of next year. Chronic kidney disease has been called a silent killer. That's because by the time symptoms show, it's often too late. One Alberta man has been up against the odds for decades as he advocates for early detection. CTV's Gates Warren has his story.
When you have a transplant, you need to look after it by suppressing your immune system.
Sean Delaney has to take drugs every single day to make sure his body doesn't attack the kidney he received from a living donor.
I'm up to around 170,000 pills since my first transplant.
That transplant came when he was 27 years old, thanks to his younger brother.
It was a huge game changer.
Delaney has been dealing with kidney disease his whole life. He lost his left kidney when he was just a month old. The 54-year-old had a second transplant 5 years ago.
A wonderful friend of a friend who heard my story through a mutual acquaintance. She came forward and was my match.
Living with kidney disease has allowed Delaney to quickly pinpoint signs of declining health. For others, those signs come when it may already be too late. New data shows the death rate for Canadians with chronic kidney disease has increased by more than 70% since 1990.
What it tells us is that people that have kidney disease already
we're failing them. We're not detecting them in time.
The Kidney Foundation of Canada is calling for a national framework around kidney disease. They say a simple blood or urine test is enough to detect those warning signs.
So if we diagnose people earlier and we intervene earlier, then we have the opportunity to prevent people from ever needing dialysis or a transplant.
Delaney advocates for early detection. He says it honors the gift of life he was given. He has since gotten back to the things he loves most, spending time with his daughters and grandkids in the great outdoors. He had just completed a hike through Portugal and Spain. The weight of that moment not lost on him.
I walked nearly 200 kilometers, and the first text I sent when I got to the very end of it was to my second donor, Brenda, and I said, we made it, not I made it.
Delaney says he'll continue to fight the disease.
You can either let it take you down or use it as a motivator, and I choose the latter.
And encourages others to do the same. Gates Gorin, CTV News, Edmonton.
An exchange of artistic energy is taking place at the Jubilee Auditorium tomorrow. Dancers from Edmonton sharing the stage with singers from Ukraine. The dancers of one Ukrainian ensemble are putting together hours in preparation of Svitlo. The cast includes 8 special guests from Ukraine's Gurdon Theatre. Dancers and singers taking the stage together.
As a Ukrainian Canadian, showing our Ukrainian culture I think it's really huge. As a dancer itself, it's really incredible. Like, dream come true to be dancing on such a stage.
How does it make you feel when you're performing and you're sharing the music?
Best for me, this is like I feel shiver and goosebumps, and my heart opens in my love.
The performers rather say the energy they create together is propelling them to new heights.
You're flying high with the CTV drone. 124th Street in Jasper Ave. Traffic fairly light, lit up quite nicely. We were under a fog advisory, but not anymore, so that is good. Still an air quality warning, though. Not the best air quality in the city due to a bit of an inversion. But as we look outside the CTV drone, though, we're not seeing anything there as far as fog. So that has lifted, and we've seen an improvement. -10 at Stony Plain and at the airport. -11 Elk Island. -9 at the Blatchford station. Winds fairly light, which is nice, so not adding too much of a chill, although it looks like as I look out the window I can see some grasses blowing around, so there's a little bit of a breeze starting to pick up, so might feel a degree or two cooler. Temperatures within the city, most locations coming in at -9, and we have -9 at the Blatchford station. For today, we'll gain a couple degrees, that'll be about it. Chance of flurries with the cloud that's over the city right now. A better chance, though, as we go throughout the late afternoon and evening. And then tomorrow we start off with a lot of cloud, -11. The cloud will break tomorrow afternoon, -9 for a high. And Saturday morning looking to be the coldest morning, -14, but then into the afternoon, -8. And it's Sunday where we see a bit of a turnaround, back to more seasonal values for our daytime high of -3. We could be just above the freezing mark on Monday, a high of 1, but we could see some flurries, possibly some wet flurries. I'll take a look at your 10-day forecast coming up in 15 minutes. Celebrate Giving Tuesday with us December 2nd at Trail Appliances South from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Bring a new unwrapped toy or cash donation for Toy Mountain and enter for your chance to win a Whirlpool stackable washer and dryer valued at $3,000. Well, I'm at Willow Park Wines and Spirits this morning, and we're talking about Black Friday. Black Friday has hit Willow Park Wines and Spirits, so you can get it for everything from what we're used to be getting, electronics, but now at the liquor store, which is fantastic. Yeah. Eldon joins us, and we've got some really cool finds here. Tequila.
Yeah.
And really good tequila.
Really good tequila. I'm sure a few folks will recognize the Clase Azul bottle. It's almost in every bar across the city.
Yeah.
This is aged for up to an 8-month window. It's on a screaming deal right now from $319.99 down to $229.99.
Wow, almost $100 off.
Almost $100 off. It's a lovely tequila. The top doubles as a bell. Of course, it's wrapped in plastic right now, so we can't attribute that, but a fun little fact of the bottle, which is also handmade and can double as a decanter.
And then you have something to keep after you're done with it, because the bottle is pretty.
Completely reuse it. It's all ceramic.
Yeah, and this next bottle is very, very nice.
This is an exceptional bottle. This is an extra añejo. So this is actually a blend of a few different years together. This tequila specifically is a 65th anniversary unit from El Tecalino. These guys are a family-run distillery, so it's father essentially runs the show. The son is the master distiller, and they're gearing up the rest of the family to do similar things in the business. This bottle itself also comes with a lovely glass top. Okay. So you can use this as a decanter as well.
Very cool.
But a screaming deal. You can't really
from $900
you can't really fight a $250 discount.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is both certainly sipping tequilas. I wouldn't mix these in a margarita.
No, for sure.
Especially this guy here. There's only 1,000 bottles of this produced.
Okay.
And every single one comes with a bottle number and a certificate of authenticity in the box.
Wow. So if you've got someone very, very special on your Christmas list and you want to take advantage of the sale, Black Friday down at Willow Park Wines and Spirits. We're also going to be talking about some other deals that they have going on during the sales event.
Thank you, Corey. Let's take a look at your drive. 20 minutes to 8 o'clock. Almost 19 minutes ahead of 8 o'clock. Volume issues eastbound, Highway 16A, Stony Plain Road from Pinchbeck Road to Winterburn Road, so heads up there. Also eastbound, 41st Avenue from Heritage Valley to Jamesmore Trail, very slow. And slow northbound Rossdale Road from 97th Ave to Grierson Hill. So getting through the river valley there is a little tricky right now. Kim?
All right, thank you very much, Kent. Coming up, we get a look at the new firefighters calendar for burn survivors. We also meet one of the models who got back to exceptional shape after surviving colon cancer. His remarkable story is coming up next. Plus, we're going back in time looking at the first selfie machine, the photo booth, how it came to be and how far we've come. Remember that thing in 10 minutes time. And the new Stranger Things didn't exactly break the internet, but it did bring down Netflix for a time. We'll tell you more about that after 8 o'clock. Stick with us.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basementy. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
What you're looking at right now is Aaron Miller posing for the upcoming issue of the Turn Up the Heat calendar for the Edmonton Firefighters Burn Treatment Society. These photos represent a long journey from a stage 3 colon cancer diagnosis to what you are watching there. Aaron joins us this morning along with his wife Georgia and Kim Wagner from the Firefighter Burn Treatment Society. Welcome to you all. Thanks so much for being here. Aaron, first of all, how are you doing right now?
I'm doing great, yeah. Everything's good. The past put all that behind me, and now I'm just enjoying life and enjoying my family.
Happy to hear that. And you look great, which is part of the reason you're here for this calendar. Can you talk about how you got from the diagnosis, the chemotherapy, and then what motivated you to say, you know what, I'm going to take my shirt off for this calendar and really beef up for this?
Sure. Yeah, I was diagnosed. I took the fire department medical, and they found some trace blood in there. And from then, I had a colonoscopy. They ended up finding the cancer, and from that, I had surgery in July, and 8 days in the hospital. And from there, ended up doing chemo after that. Lost about 40 pounds, and then yeah, my wife motivated me to try out for the calendar, and yeah, it was just a good motivation to get back in shape and really push my body, and also just to prep myself to get back on the floor of the fire department. Right, I don't want to be a liability there. I want to make sure that you know, I can help others as well as my crew if I need to, and be strong enough that I'm not a liability. So.
Well, congratulations on that journey. We're happy that you're feeling so good and healthy right now. Now, Georgia, you're a big part of this as well, with the motivation, but also you post this on the internet and people really resonating with this. Can you tell us about your role online with this whole thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So this fall, the Edmonton Firefighter Calendar was released, and I really did want to promote it on my Instagram, but I felt I was putting it off because there was such a beautiful story behind the calendar. It wasn't just a calendar. So when I got the okay from Aaron to share the story, it was such an honor to write it. And then, you know, you post something and you think, is anybody listening? But millions of people started viewing the story and thousands of messages from people. And the best thing about it is the awareness it's brought for colon cancer, about getting your checks. And again, the thousands of people who have been going through cancer and saying to us, this is exactly the inspiration they need to see today to help them to get through their treatment and give them the hope.
Wow.
So
well, congratulations to both of you for that hard work, because it truly is a family effort. So thank you so much for being here. Now, this is for the calendar, Kim, which is also helping out other people in the community. Can you explain where the money goes from this calendar?
Yeah, so the Edmonton Firefighters Burn Treatment Society is a nonprofit charity that's registered with the CRA, and we support the treatment, research, and recovery of burn injuries at the Edmonton Firefighters Burn Treatment Unit at the University of Alberta Hospital. So a large portion of our proceeds go to that unit, making sure that we have state-of-the-art equipment available so our patients get the best care possible. And then the other part that our proceeds go to is the Alberta Firefighters Burn Camp for Children, which is a week-long camp for young burn survivors aged 7 to 17 out in Kananaskis. So they get to have a week of fun and being able to just be kids again, being surrounded with kids that have been gone through the same kind of experience. So they're viewed for who they are versus their physical ailments and their burns, right? So it helps to build up their self-esteem and their self-confidence, which is really huge. So two really important causes that the money goes towards.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic issue. Aaron, thank you for your service to the city. Congratulations on where you're at now. Happy that you're healthy. Both of you, thanks so much for joining us this morning and your efforts as well. To learn more about the calendar and the Treatment Society, you can visit efbts.ca. You can find them on Instagram as well. Now, still ahead, the photo booth turns 100 years old. We explore how they work and the evolution of the camera. Remember that thing on the way.
Let's take a look at your daily snow report, as you saw from Corey's forecast. Yeah, we don't have a lot of snow out there, none. So Snow Valley is still producing their snow. Their values haven't come in yet. We'll get those soon. If you're headed out to the mountains, 51 centimeters at the base of Marmot Basin, 74 centimeters in Lake Louise. A good weekend to go to Sunshine Village right now. Their base is reporting 74 centimeters.
Snow Report, brought to you by Snow Valley Ski Club. Opening soon. Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
So we talked about this earlier in the week, the photo booth. It turns 100 years old this year. They're such a cool piece of history and could be considered the very first version of a selfie, right? The first photo booth popped up on Broadway in New York City. It was invented by a Russian immigrant. He called it the Photomaton. It cost 25 cents and produced a strip of 8 photos in about 8 minutes. Now, reportedly, that single machine saw 280,000 visitors in a span of 6 months. Wow. That's a cultural phenomenon right there. Then photo booths spread across the whole world, becoming iconic fixtures in arcades, train stations, and malls. So how does it work? Well, essentially, there's a mini darkroom in there. You can see little tanks of developing chemicals and mechanical system that pulled the strip through each bath in sequence, just like a tiny photo lab. After processing, the strip was dried and dropped into the slot, warm and smelling a bit like the darkroom. No technician, no waiting days, instant photography before instant photography existed, which leads us into 1937, when the Polaroid camera was introduced. In 1932, the first 35mm film was developed for taking color photographs. Then we get into the digital age, uploading full photo albums to our computers and ultimately Facebook. Here we are today, when I rarely print out photos because it lives on my phone, which, you know, I should do more often. I want my walls to be covered in photos of Andy, specifically, my son. Sure, who cares about us? But yeah, it's just like, it's just nice to, I don't know, like be in your home and see all these wonderful memories, and we just don't do that anymore because we have the thing in our pockets.
Yeah, and then it's all of a sudden inconvenient to go down and get it developed. It takes like a minute.
I know, it does. Not even, probably 30 seconds these days. What's your favorite method to take photos? So, of course, we have the photo booth, the original selfie, the Polaroid, shake it like a Polaroid picture, developing film and waiting several days for that fresh, warm stack. Then we get into the digital age, and then finally, you're like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to leave it on my phone. What did you say was your favorite one?
The disposable, you know?
Yes, with the film. And then you wind it up to take the photo, and then it has the number on the actual camera.
And the flash goes off and ruins the whole thing.
Totally. I told you not to use the flash. Text us your answer at 10400. Our lovely producer, Penny, always has so many treasures at her house and her mom's, and she has like this stack of hundreds of random people, strangers' photos
like the
from
lost
a
and
photo
found
booth.
from the photo booth.
Yeah. When is the last time you saw the old school photo booth? Like, I'm not talking about the digital ones with Disney characters and stuff.
It was the Town and Country Mall in Moose Jaw, and it never worked.
Shout out to Town and Country. Thank you, Penny, for this. Text us your answer, your favorite way to capture moments at 10400. We're back after the break.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid. School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
You're taking a live look through the CTV drone. We've got Grote Bridge and a lot of pancake ice down on the river. Looking pretty cool. We were learning about that at the beginning of the week on Whether or Not. So nice to see it forming here on the North Saskatchewan River. Because soon enough, that's just going to be solid ice. As we take a look at current temperatures, right now we are at -9. We've got fairly consistent temperatures in central areas ranging from -11 to -9. And then when you head down to Red Deer, a little bit cooler at -13. Calgary, -14. They're one of the cool spots in the province. Here is your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. -10 for the kids heading out, -9 at lunch, -8 when they head home. Fairly cloudy throughout the day, and with that cloud cover, there's a slight chance that we could see some scattered flurries this morning, but a better chance late afternoon and this evening. Tomorrow, fairly cloudy to start, -11, -9 for a high. Tomorrow we'll see the cloud break as we get into the afternoon. -14 to start on Saturday, that's the coldest morning, and then -8 for a high. Sunday, things turn around. -3 into the afternoon, lots of sun. Monday, possibly some flurries and wet flurries with a high of 1, and then daytime highs after that as we go throughout the rest of next week, -3 and -4.
Milestones, brought to you by Coolman's Flower Shop. Colorful, fresh designs for any occasion.
We have reason to celebrate on this November 27th because Ian is turning 7 years old. Ian is from Wainwright. Happy birthday. Lots of love from Mom, Dad, Dean, and Ivy.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
All right, Gumshoes, let's solve a mystery this morning. This gadget was invented by Edwin Land. Clue number 2 is first sold in department stores in 1948. Something to think about from not too long ago on the show. And clue number 3, this camera sold out almost instantly. Instant. It is the Polaroid camera. Land was inspired by his 3-year-old daughter, Jennifer. He took a photo of her on vacation, and she asked him why she couldn't see it right away. Good idea. The news you need to start your day begins right now. Here on Thursday, November 27th.
It's about building this economy. It's about making Canada more independent. And it's about making Canada more sustainable.
The Prime Minister is in Alberta today, expected to sign an energy deal with the Premier.
To replace them, they're about $7,000 a piece, so about over $100,000 replacement value.
Caught on camera, 2 trucks seen stealing a trailer outside a Stony Plain school full of specialized wheelchairs.
It's just been something that we've been so frustrated with for so long. We're so encouraged to see this site up for sale finally.
The former BMO building downtown that's been a pile of rubble for 7 years is now up for sale with hopes the site can be soon cleaned up. Your morning starts right now. Just after 8 o'clock, welcome. Welcome to your Thursday morning, Edmonton. The Prime Minister is in Alberta today, expected to sign an energy agreement with the Premier, while BC leaders watch closely. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more on this morning. So, Nicole, do we know exactly what's unfolding this morning?
Kent, according to the Prime Minister's itinerary, he's meeting with Premier Danielle Smith at 9:30 in the morning in Calgary. They will head into a meeting, then come out to sign the expected memorandum of understanding. Political watchers say it's an agreement that will most definitely draw criticism.
Today's MOU is more likely to make these tensions sharper than it is to dull them.
Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Smith are teaming up to sign some sort of agreement. The province calls this new energy collaboration framework a key step toward unleashing Alberta's energy sector. There's speculation the agreement could lay groundwork for future pipeline expansion. That's received pushback from BC's Premier David Eby and coastal First Nations leaders. In Ottawa, some MPs insist everything is fine. CTV's political analyst believes Liberal MPs will follow their boss on their election promise to get big things done like large projects, but says the division on this issue will not go away.
Well, this is a challenging interprovincial issue. It's a challenging national issue because the tensions and the divided interests are clear, and there's no way to really steer around them. And Albertans may say, well, if you get a veto over whether or not we build a pipeline, BCers could easily say, well, that gives you a veto over how our coastline is used.
And for more analysis, CTV will have special coverage of the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on CTV News Channel starting at 9:30 our time. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. Well, a prominent downtown property is now up for sale. The listing calls it an extremely rare opportunity, a corner lot in the heart of downtown close to the new LRT. This is the site of the former Bank of Montreal building that was demolished in 2018. In the 7 years since it has become an eyesore, Regency Developments owns the property. It did not respond to CTV's request for comment. The pandemic interrupted Regency's redevelopment plans, and market conditions remain risky for tower projects. Still, downtown councillor Ann Stevenson says that's no excuse for the lot's appearance.
I certainly don't feel that every effort was made to make that site as tidy and attractive as possible.
It's just been something that we've been so frustrated with for so long. We're so encouraged to see this site up for sale finally.
Councillor Stevenson says she has talked to the realtor involved. They are hoping the city can work with a new owner to make better use of the property while it waits for redevelopment. It is currently listed for $6 million. A wheelchair basketball organization has issued a public plea to the people who stole a trailer full of chairs. Leave it somewhere safe. The trailer was parked outside Memorial Composite High School in Stony Plain, full of 15 specialized basketball wheelchairs. Surveillance footage shows at least 2 people hitching the trailer to a truck and driving off around 6 Sunday morning. Ross Norton says the wheelchairs are rented out to different schools in Edmonton and surrounding area.
To replace them, they're about $7,000 a piece, so about over $100,000 replacement value. There's lots of trailers I can find to buy. The chairs are pretty valuable to us, and you know, if the chairs get dumped off, it should be nice to know where they are so I can go get them and put them back into circulation in our programs.
RCMP say 2 trucks are involved, either a gray Ford Super Duty or a Chevrolet Silverado, as well as a red truck, possibly a Super Duty. The trailer has the Society's logo on the side. Well, the snow guns and groomers are going full throttle at Snow Valley. The ski hill says now that temperatures have dropped, it will keep making snow for the next couple of days, hoping to open next Friday. So we'll see how that plays out with the forecast as we bring Corey in, who is out and about for us this morning. So ambitious with the snowmaking, but now's the time to go now that the temperatures have gotten this cold.
Yeah, they've been waiting for that for a while, so the temperatures have dropped off, so keeping that snow around. And then we do have a little bit in the forecast that will add to that, which is fantastic. Right now, you're taking a live look through the CTV drone, the Alberta Legislature ground. Looking quite nice down there. Traffic still on the lighter side, but starting to pick up as people are heading in towards the downtown core. Fairly cloudy right now here over the city. With that cloud, there's a slight chance that we could see some scattered flurries, about a 30% chance through the morning, but then a better chance, about a 40% chance as we go throughout the late afternoon and evening. -8 for a high for today. Average seasonal high is -2. Let's see if our temperature has updated. Still at -9. Wind is fairly light. At the airport, temperature there, -10. So still at -10 at the airport. As we go throughout the day today, limited warming, 1 or 2 degrees. That'll be about it. And as I said, a better chance of seeing some flurries late afternoon and into the evening. Cloudy to start tomorrow morning, -11, and then a few breaks in the cloud tomorrow afternoon, -9. Saturday, a cold start, -14, and then -8. We will see a lot of sun as we go throughout Saturday, especially into the afternoon. And then Sunday is where the weather turns around. We'll get closer to seasonal on Sunday, and then as we go throughout Monday, possibly just above the freezing mark. And I will talk more about that. I have your 5 and 10-day forecasts still to come. Well, the Art of Banksy Without Limits is in Edmonton for a limited time after its incredible worldwide success. Explore 200 of the artist's works, such as his original art, prints, photos, and sculptures. Enter for a chance to win a pair of VIP passes at ctvedmonton.ca.
Thank you very much, Corey. The Edmonton Oil Kings showed off some special jerseys ahead of their annual teddy bear toss game.
There's Lewis, alternate captain Ethan McKenzie, defenseman Blake Fiddler, defenseman Reese Peterson, and of course, Brickley Bear.
Oh, I love them. Inspired by Edmonton, so it's always awesome, and they have the colorful cartoons on the bottom, which I love. I like the hot dog for Wiener Wednesdays that we have every Wednesday, and then the little beige teddy bear there at the front.
Aside from hot dogs and teddy bears, the jerseys also feature local landmarks like Rogers Place. The players will wear these jerseys for their Sunday, December 7th game against the Prince Albert Raiders. When the Oil Kings score, fans will throw teddy bears and stuffed animals onto the ice. Toys and proceeds will support Santa's Anonymous. Well, people at the Edmonton International Airport had a chance to cross some things off their Christmas list. People could shop at about 40 local vendors at the YEG Sustainable Holiday Market. Sellers had to be sustainable, Indigenous, or young people. The airport says it's a way to bring a bit of Edmonton to travelers.
So that's an opportunity for us to connect with the community and really provide an opportunity for people coming and visiting our airports to connect with what's happening here in the region.
It's not the first market for the airport. It also hosted an Indigenous market this past summer. Well, Netflix is back up and running after crashing during the premiere of the final season of Stranger Things.
This is gonna work. Yeah, it better work. It's not like we're conspicuous or anything.
Within minutes of its release, the service was down for viewers around the world. Online tracker Down Detector reported upwards of 14,000 outages. Stranger Things Season 5 releases in 3 parts. The first is streaming now, the next comes out on Christmas Day, and the last on New Year's Eve. It's the first new season of the popular show since 2022. It is almost 10 minutes past 8 o'clock on this Thursday morning. It's Throwback Thursday, so we're talking about the 100-year anniversary of the photo booth, asking you on the text line, what is your favorite way to take and receive pictures? Text us at 10400. So you got the photo booth, of course, there. Polaroid, develop film, digital, and then some people are just like, you know what, just leave it on my phone. I don't need to print it. Bob says, oh man, brings back great memories. Such a wonderful way of getting instant photos. This photo on the right here, it's from 50 years ago when I was in high school. You look like a fun guy, Bob.
Yeah,
I want to hang out with you. Yeah. Mrs. P said, I still love a printed photo. I think they've actually become more popular because my granddaughter has asked for a Polaroid camera for Christmas. And we often see these trends come back around, and it's really fun to just, I know like the phone is, it's just like a regular thing, and it's something, that we see all the time, but having that like taking it out from the Instax camera.
Granular
and,
stuff, right?
And then like shaking it so that it would develop, and then careful not to put it in the sunshine or daylight or your fingerprints on it. Like there's something about that.
And the work that went into it, the tangible stuff, makes it, you know, it kind of drills into you. Then you get that photo later and you're like, oh, let me tell you about this picture. Because the whole experience now is just like flick through the scroll and it's like whatever.
Thousands upon thousands, I know.
Anyway, I'm still going to use my phone.
Yesteryear.
It's 2025.
See, we talk about it, and I'm like, well, I'm still using my phone, so.
Convenience is, you know, it'll do things for us. Let's take a look at the drive. This is inconvenient. There's a crash eastbound Highway 16A, Stony Plain Road at Winterburn Road, so it's very slow. Heads up there. There's also a crash northbound on the Hendy on the west leg at 87th Avenue, delaying to the river crossing. And volume issues northbound Rossdale Road from 97th to Grierson Hill as well. So there are some spots out there that are slow right now. Well, Corey is out live on location this morning at Willow Park Wines and Spirits. So, Corey, people may be looking for unique gifts to give. They'll come wrapped up. You got some ideas for us?
Yeah, for sure. They do some great gifting down here at Willow Park Wines and Spirits. I'm with Janice, and we're going to be talking about that and Black Friday. So are a lot of people already getting those gifts going for Christmas?
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's our biggest sale of wine that we'll see all year.
Okay.
Black Friday, up to 60% off. And yeah, it's a great time to put together some gifts for Christmas.
And you do a really good job of that, whether it's the leather boxes or even these physical wooden boxes.
Yeah, exactly. So we just had our Bordeaux sale, and now we're into Black Friday with a lot of French and Bordeaux style wines, which we've gained a lot of crates.
Okay.
So these
are actually real authentic crates.
They are real wine crates, and we are willing to, we package up gifting inside the crates.
Very cool. Okay. And do they come just set already as far as what's in them, or do you get to pick and make your own?
We're happy to help guests pick. This one I selected just a bunch of French wines. We can go by region, we can go by the gift recipient's personality, or even if we just want to go for things that are really on sale.
Okay.
Yeah, we can build a lot of different options.
And do you need a lot of notice or heads up when you're doing a gift basket?
Not at all. We can do it the day of. We've been getting some emails, and they're asking for it to be delivered later on in December, or it can be delivered tomorrow, so we can accommodate just about anything that needs.
Okay, and we've got wine here. Can you do other things besides just wine as well?
Oh, yeah, of course. We have our giftware wall, so glassware, mixingware. We can do spirits, wine, just about anything.
Wow, and are some of those also deals for Black Friday?
We've been selling out of a lot of wines, so this Black Friday sale will go until Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still a lot available, but I would come in if you want to take advantage of the sale.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Janice.
Yeah.
And stick around. We're going to be talking bourbon. Maybe you've got a bourbon lover in your family, and you might want to think about that for a Christmas gift. That's coming up a little bit later on.
All right, thank you very much, Corey. Let's take a look at Edmonton's gas prices on this very chilly Thursday morning. Average cost around town has actually stuck. It is still just above $1.15 per liter, but there are multiple stations now at the lowest price of close to $1.03 per liter, including the Circle K on Ebers Boulevard.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Well, the best part of the holidays is recreating old traditions and making new memories. Lifestyle and parenting contributor Sherry French is here to share the perfect way to do it with family this season. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning. Happy holidays. It's time. And I've got some great traditions to talk about today.
Can't wait to hear it. Now, listen, you look like you live in a cottage out of like a Hallmark Christmas movie. How do you decorate? Where do you get your stuff from?
Well, I get my stuff HomeSense with my mother. We've gone many times because when it comes to traditions, right, decorating our house as well as having time with the family. My kids are all over the country now. I've got them at home. So HomeSense is a great mix of cozy decor and family-friendly finds, all at prices that make it easy to celebrate the holidays in style without overspending. So you can see I've got a bunch of stuff with me today. I've got beautiful throws. I stole this from my couch to pillows. The seasonal accents. I just came back from seeing the polar bears in Churchill. I had to get a Christmas polar bear. This beautiful tablecloth. So many great ideas. And then for my kids, we're big into games and puzzles. I found some beautiful 1,000-piece puzzles, too, we do. And I brought back Trivial Pursuit because my parents, I think, still have that in their living room. So make sure to head to your local HomeSense store and stock up for the holidays and spend some time decorating together.
Oh, don't got to tell me twice. Okay, holiday parties. They're a tradition for so many families. How are you getting ready for those?
Absolutely. You got to look good. And you're lucky this got to TV because Annika, my youngest, is home from university and tried to do her hair this morning with this. So let's start a holiday tradition by gifting great hair days. This is a very affordable Revlon limited edition 10th anniversary one-step volumizer for this holiday season. So this iconic revolutionary one-step volumizer actually changed the game for hair tools, turning 10 years old. So it's presented in this beautiful celebratory pearlescent pink limited edition. It also continues to deliver salon-worthy blowouts. So Annika and Alexa, both of my girls, have the original one. They're both getting this fancy one for the holidays. But you're going to get those salon-worthy blowouts, drying and styling in up to half the time, which I know Annika loves, and you're going to get more shine. Fan favorite, over 488,000 5-star reviews, as well as it's award-winning. So head to Amazon.ca, stock up, and get looking good for those holiday parties.
Excellent. Now, nostalgia plays a big part during the holidays. How are you celebrating that in a new and fun way?
You're going to love this. So I know if I go to my mom's house in Ontario, she still has the Hot Wheels cars from my brother. So the holidays are about nostalgia, and Hot Wheels are back. So Joe Fresh has actually partnered with Hot Wheels on a vintage-inspired clothing collection available now online as well as in stores nationwide. The collection features Hot Wheel cars and the iconic racing checkered pattern in muted colorways on pop-colored T-shirts, underwear, socks, as well as PJs that I have with me today for both boys and toddlers. So it's a great gift idea. It's great for those cozy holiday mornings or carrying on those tradition of collecting Hot Wheels together. So yes, I've got this for my godson's son, these super cute PJs. It's a 3-piece set. Get ready for the holidays.
Excellent. Sherry, thank you so much, as always, for all of your amazing gift guide suggestions. Have a fantastic holiday, especially in your beautiful cottage.
Thanks. I got to finish decorating. Got to finish that today.
Get to it. For more tips and tricks this holiday season, visit Sherry on Instagram and TikTok at Mom Hint.
You're taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed right or it's free. -8. We've got a lot of ice forming on the river, and we've got a lot of cloud over the city, and even a little bit of a haze. We still are under an air quality warning, kind of trapped near the surface, a bit of an inversion, but that should correct itself today. Taking a look at some other temperatures across the province, fairly consistent, not a big range. -8 here in the city. That's one of the warmer temperatures, to about -14 in Red Deer, a bit on the cold side there. Fort McMurray, Lac La Biche, West Lock, areas east of the city, we are seeing some snow and flurries, also up towards Spirit River. Most of it has been moving around the city, but with the cloud cover, there's a slight chance that we could see some scattered flurries here in the city, more so once we get into the afternoon and evening. So we could see that move through the Edmonton area, and then fairly cloudy as we head into tomorrow. For today, though, -8 for a high. Again, a slight chance of flurries. Could still see a little bit of fog this morning, but most of that we are done with. And yeah, tomorrow we'll get a little bit of sun, but it's going to be a little bit colder. I'll have those details next time we chat weather.
Hello there, Matt Scooby with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For that, we will head to Anaheim, where the Canucks were taking on the Ducks. Brock Besser going to chase down the loose puck and find Connor Garland, and he does the rest. Undressing the defender and Peter Mrazek for a beautiful goal. Garland stick handling in a phone booth. A little dangle. His 6th of the season. He earns your must-see moment from Wednesday. Well, today on TSN, it's American Thanksgiving, so we've got a full slate of NFL action, starting with the Packers and Lions at 11 a.m. Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. And that's it from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Welcome to your Winter Car Care Series brought to you by Midas. And today we are going to be talking about being prepared when heading out on the road in winter, some of the things you need to do, and maybe think about putting in your vehicle. I'm with Midas Mike. Mike, what are some of the things we need to do to make sure we're prepared inside our vehicle?
Okay, couple of things for safety in the wintertime. One, always keep your fuel tank full. Okay. That's imperative. If you hit the ditch or something like that in the middle of the night or whatever, you're going to be waiting. The other thing is if you are in the ditch, just walk out and clear the exhaust from snow or something like that so that you don't get a buildup of exhaust in your vehicle. Okay. The other thing that is super important, have a good winter prepared kit. So we're in Antonio's car, and I can see Antonio's got a set of leather work gloves, high-vis vest, and he's got probably the best winter prepared kit that I've ever seen. He's got a blanket. In here, there's a work light, tie straps, duct tape. There's a first aid kit. We've got booster cables right there, because the moment you don't have these, you're gonna need them.
For sure.
Right? And this one here, we've talked a lot about tires, that's a compressor, right? So, you know, all of these things just mean you're prepared, so in case something happens, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
For sure, for sure. Is it also a good idea to keep our vehicle clean during the winter the best we can?
Oh, yes, for sure. So the cleanliness leads up to, you know, visibility, really, and other people being able to see you. So if your vehicle's clean and the tail lights and the signal lights are all clean, then obviously other drivers can see what's happening, right? But just like you and I, in the wintertime, we go to work in the dark, we come home in the dark, and you need to be able to see out of your windshield. So that means wiper blades, clean windshield. A good tip that I've started using when I was driving a lot in the wintertime is use windshield washer fluid. Don't use Windex or something like that. Put a bottle of windshield washer fluid, clean your windows with that because it doesn't freeze.
Smart, very smart. And those are some of the things you want to think about when keeping safe in winter. And coming up, we're going to talk about winter driving safety. Stick around.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid.
Good morning, just after 8:30 here on a bit of a frosty Thursday morning. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. Corey's got more of the forecast coming right up. But first, let's check in with Kim. What's going on this half hour, Kim?
Yeah, so giving the perfect present can make everyone on your list feel seen and celebrated. We're going to share some memorable gift ideas for everyone on your list. Tune in for that in a few minutes. First, the news you need to start your day. Kent, back to you.
Thank you, Kim. We are about an hour away from a high-stakes meeting between Prime Minister Mark Carney and Alberta Premier Danielle Smith. The pair expected to sign some sort of energy agreement, and BC leaders will be watching closely. CTV's Nicole Lampa has the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, what exactly is in this memorandum of understanding?
Kent, the Prime Minister was vague, saying it's about building the economy, making our country more independent and sustainable, but he avoided talking about speculation that some BC MPs have concerns.
What's your message to BC MPs concerned about the pipeline?
Very good conversation.
Few words from Canada's Energy Minister, who started his day yesterday briefing BC MPs on what's to come. Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Smith are teaming up to sign some sort of agreement. The province calls this new energy collaboration framework a key step toward unleashing Alberta's energy sector. There's speculation the agreement could lay groundwork for future pipeline expansion, which has received pushback from BC's Premier and coastal First Nations leaders. Though in Ottawa, some MPs insist everything is fine.
It's premature, irresponsible for anybody to talk about, you know, what people think and who's saying what until there is something that's on paper.
I support the Prime Minister, and Prime Minister has a vision, and something really good will come out of this.
You've got BC bought in, you've got First Nations leadership bought in, and First Nations communities bought in is the minimum expectation.
A special edition of Power Play on what's happening here in Alberta this morning will be on CTV News channels starting at 9:30 our time. And you can also watch coverage on our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Well, harsher measures are coming for commercial truck drivers with bad driving records here in this province. Class 1 tractor-trailer drivers will have to provide their driving records when they move to a new job. It's an effort to have the record follow the driver instead of the company. Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen says this will allow companies to know who the good and bad drivers are before they get behind the wheel. This is going to be all phased in beginning in December. Everything will be up and running June 1st of next year. And pet ownership is about to be cheaper for people living north of Edmonton in Morinville. The town will soon stop making people license their pets. Instead, owners will be required to make sure pets have an ID tag with up-to-date contact information. They will be encouraged to consider microchipping their animals. Doing away with the licenses will save people $100 in a one-time animal cost and $10 annual renewal fee, money that went into the town's general revenue system.
Yeah, that loss of revenue wasn't substantial enough, and it definitely didn't outweigh the convenience factor of having residents, not have to come all the way down to the town office, register their animals, and then have to utilize the tag that we provide them. This just provides them so much more ease and hopefully get more commitment to make sure people have tags on their animals and get them home as quick as we can.
All other animal bylaws remain in effect. As with the pet licenses, any animals caught in public without a proper ID tag could be subject to a fine. The change takes effect the 1st of January. Well, hundreds, if not thousands, of Oilers fans are expected to line up to see their favorite players today. The team will be signing autographs at West Edmonton Mall from 6 tonight to 8. As always, the mall is expecting long lineups, recommending fans arrive early to secure their spot. For Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the first 300 fans in line will be guaranteed an autograph. Lines will be regulated by wristbands. Once you're in line, you can't leave. Saving spots is not allowed. A map of where the players can be found at wem.ca/Oilers.
You're looking through the CTV River Valley Skycam right now. That's Saskatchewan Drive. A little bit of traffic down there. It's been not too bad today. We didn't have the fog to tend with. The fog warning was dropped. Still an air quality advisory warning in place. A little bit of an inversion. We've got some pollution trapped near the surface, but that should improve as we go throughout the day. -9 in Stony Plain, -10 at the airport as well as Elk Island, and -8 at the Blatchford Station. Winds on the light side, just taking off a degree or two to account for a slight wind chill. Most temperatures in the city are coming in at -8. We have -9 in Summerside. We might lose a degree or two and then go back to -8. We're really not going to warm up much more than that. A lot of cloud in the region, and with that cloud, there's a slight chance of flurries this morning, about a 40% chance late afternoon and through the evening. So slight chance throughout the day, but a better chance as we go throughout the evening. As we take a look at tomorrow, cloudy to start off, -11, and then -9 for a high. We'll see a little bit of break in the cloud Friday afternoon. Saturday, lots of sun. Cold to start, -14 and then -8 for a high. Sunday, things do start to turn around, -3 for a high, and as we get into Monday, we could be just above the freezing mark with a high of 1, but we could see some flurries, possibly some wet flurries, so we'll keep an eye on that the closer we get to it. Well, I've been spending my morning at Willow Park Wines and Spirits, and we're back with Eldon, and we are going to be talking bourbon. Bourbon. Now, let me get this right. All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon.
Yes.
Okay, got that right. Okay, yeah. So what are some of the ones you're going to talk about today?
These are, in fact, all Willow Park barrel selects. So a small team from our main Calgary location went to each distillery. They chatted with the distillers and came up with some fun barrels to do.
Very cool. Yeah. So very unique to Willow Park, and That's kind of a unique gift as well.
Absolutely. You can't find them anywhere else. They're only at Willow Park. Most you can order online. Obviously, they are available in store. We do have a nice one from Angel's Envy. This is a fourth fill mixed with a slightly unfinished bourbon, and then finished off in some port barrels.
Oh, okay.
Over 50%, so it's definitely got a bit of a bite. Some baking spice notes, some vanilla notes, a really nice medium finish to it, but it's a lovely bourbon.
Okay, and you were saying this Yellowstone is really nice as well.
Yellowstone is awesome. It's quickly become a personal favorite of mine for overproofed bourbon. This guy has some great cola notes to it.
Oh, interesting.
Vanilla notes, some baking spice notes. You can just catch a hint of leather on it as well, which purely comes from the barrel, but also aged around like a 4-year mark.
And then the Westland.
Westland is the only one from the Willow Park Select that is on the Black Friday sale right now.
Yeah, and it's quite on sale.
Screaming price from $145.99 to $89.99, so a nice price difference. This one is kind of unique between the four here anyway, because this is done in Mountain Gay rum barrels to finish it off. So it has a natural sweetness to it, which is delightful.
Okay. And then our last one?
Our last one is Wilderness Trail, another overproofed wine. They're all over 50%. This guy is aged for 5 years and 5 months.
Wow.
Lovely notes of biscuit. There's some notes of vanilla, just a really smooth drink.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Eldon knows his stuff, and everyone down here at Willow Park Wines and Spirits is very, very knowledgeable. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank
and
you.
If you want to make use of the Black Friday sale, come down. It ends on Sunday, I believe.
Yes.
So some really good deals down at Willow Park Wines and Spirits.
Thank you very much, Corey. Let's take a look at your drive as we finish up rush hour here. Now 20 minutes to 9 o'clock. We've got this crash eastbound Highway 16A and Stony Plain Road at Winterburn Road. Very slow as a result as they respond to that crash. This one is clearing up northbound on the Henday on the west side at 87th Avenue. Still slow as they continue to clear the way there. And volume issues southbound St. Albert Trail from 137 Ave to 118 Ave, creating some tricky spots there as well. We're still ahead after having their feathers ruffled by Trump tariffs. One American capital is bringing their one-of-a-kind business to Western Canada.
We are going to have close to 4,000 to 5,000 different kind of ducks and various duck products.
Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
Welcome back to your Winter Car Care Series brought to you by Midas. I'm with Midas Mike, and we're going to be talking about hitting the roads and being safe on the roads and being prepared. Mike, what are some of the things we really need to consider when we hit the road in the winter?
Oh, there's a lot of things that we need to really be aware of. One, making sure that fuel tank is always full. Just in case something happens, you got to spend some time in your vehicle. You want to be warm. Clear the snow or whatever away from your exhaust in case you want to run that vehicle. Make sure your fuel tank is full. When you're getting home at night, check the weather before you get out of your vehicle. Do I need to plug my car in? At -15, plug it in.
Okay.
Do you have a block heater? Do you know where your block heater cord even is?
Right.
Right is another thing that you got to consider. Pop that hood, have a look, make sure you can find it. If you can't find it, stop in, we'll give you a hand, we'll figure it out for you. Fluids. Fluids. Run a synthetic oil. Give your engine a chance.
Okay.
Right? The other thing would be coolant. Coolant is 70% of all breakdowns that we see, whether it's winter or summer. Your cooling system is most likely the culprit of that. Transmission, second most expensive component that we have in our vehicle, never gets the fluid flushed, right? Brakes, super important, right? Make sure that brake fluid is fresh. It needs to be freshened up every 2 years.
And when it comes to starting your car in the winter, it's been plugged in, maybe it hasn't. Do we need to let it warm up?
100%. Give it a few minutes. I mean, you don't hop out of bed and start running a marathon right off the hop. Give your vehicle a little bit of a chance, right?
Perfect.
And then the same thing with winter driving. Give yourself some space. I mean, if you got some winter tires from Midas that are studded, you're in great hands. But if you don't, give yourself some space so that you can actually avoid an incident. You don't know if that road has black ice on it or if somebody's going to be, coming across from a red light. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right. You want them to be prepared for the unknown. Thank you so much for all your great advice. And if you have more questions or would like more information on Midas, you can always visit the website at the bottom of your screen, or you can always visit one of your local Midas dealers.
All right, thank you very much, Corey. Well, giving the perfect present can make everyone on your list feel seen and celebrated. DIY and lifestyle expert Denise Wild is here to share some memorable gift ideas for everyone on your list. Good morning, Denise. So good to see you again.
Good morning. Great to see you, too. Is your list big or is your list short?
It's pretty short this year.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So I have a few beauty lovers on my list. So where can I shop if I have some beauty lovers on my list?
Let's start with those because let's give the gift of fabulous finds. From spa and hair kits to cosmetic brushes and blenders, Winners has brand name gifts for less, diffusers and essential oils, elevated shave kits, even heated massage products, which are my favorite. It's Luxe skincare plus stocking stuffers. It's the beauty brands they love without the high-end prices. You're always winning when you shop at Winners. And, this time of year, I'd say I'm there at least once a week because you want to find the new deals, right?
Oh, for sure. One for you and then one for me.
Right.
One for you and one for me.
Yes, I like it. That's what helps elongate our list, right?
Yes. What can we give to someone that wants to take their self-care routine to the next level?
Okay, so this is an amazing device for anyone who wants to remove unwanted body hair. This is the Braun IPL Pro 5. It's an at-home hair removal device that has incredible results, up to 2 years of smooth skin, and it's really easy to use. You just shave, turn it on, and then permanently reduce hair regrowth. It also has a Skin Pro sensor, which auto-adjusts based on your skin tone. It just helps you to break free from the hassle of hair removal, ongoing salon visits, ongoing costs. And this is about gifting with intention, giving something that, somebody might not normally buy for themselves, but that will truly help to make their life easier.
So a lot of the time, unfortunately, I don't have time to go shopping for everyone on my list. I give out gift cards. How can I personalize it so that it's special and it looked like I cared?
Yes, right. That is important. So this is a really fun craft DIY that I've done. I've just added a little holiday character to an envelope. I use construction paper, googly eyes, sparkly paper, and that way I put this on the outside of an envelope. You can tuck inside a gift card, tuck inside a special note or a handwritten card. This is just a special, customized way of saying to somebody that you care.
Wonderful. Now, finally, what are your suggestions for the tech-savvy trendsetter on our list?
Yes, you know what? Anything tech is always loved by everybody, whether it's a little bit of an upgrade or a fun new device. Any age, any interest, there's always something tech on your list. And, it's just a great gift to add, whether it's in the stocking or under the tree. And yeah, so many great options. And I forgot to mention that the Braun IPL Pro 5 is available in-store and online at Shoppers Drug Mart Beauty Boutiques. So when you're looking for it, that's where to find it.
Check, check, and check. Denise, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Kim. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy shopping.
For more creative ideas, you can find Denise on Instagram at @DeniseWild. Well, still ahead, after tariff trouble, an American couple hopes their unique business can bounce back in a new location.
It actually became a no-brainer to come to Canada. Like, we love Canada. Canada aligns more with our values.
Here is a look at your daily snow report. Now, as you saw, from Corey's forecast. Snow will be on its way, but until then, Snow Valley has to produce their own. So unfortunately, right now, we don't have any new values. However, we should get that by the end of today. Marmot Basin, 51 centimeters at the base, 74 at Lake Louise. It's a great idea for this weekend if you want to get out, ski, snowboard, have a great trip with your family and friends. It looks like Sunshine Village is also at 74 centimeters at the base.
Snow Report brought to you by Snow Valley Ski Club. Opening soon. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're taking a live look through the River Valley Skycam. You know what? We lucked out today. We didn't have to deal with the fog. Still, the air quality not great here in the city. We are still in an air quality warning, but that should improve as we go throughout the day today. A bit of inversion, but that should reverse itself. As we take a look at your forecast for today, temperature-wise, -8, maybe -7. That'll be about it. Slight chance of flurries as we go throughout the day. If we do see them, they'll be fairly scattered throughout the region. -11 to start tomorrow with cloud, -9 for a high with some sun into the afternoon. Saturday morning, -14 and then -8. Sunday looks nice at -3, back to a seasonal high, and then just above it on Monday with a high of around 0 to 1 degree. We could see some flurries, wet flurries on Monday. And then as far as the rest of next week, fairly seasonal, -3s and -4s.
Thanks, Corey. Well, Donald Trump's trade war has some businesses looking to relocate south of the border. It's had the opposite effect on one American couple. When tariffs ruffled their feathers, they decided to fly north to a coastal BC town. CTV's Shannon Patterson has more.
Neil King is getting his ducks in a row as he and his wife prepare to open their new business at Tsawwassen Mills Mall.
This all came from the idea that we needed an attraction to bring people into Point Roberts after COVID.
The American couple opened the Rubber Duck Museum in the back of their Point Roberts gift shop in July 2024.
The first day it was open, we had lines going out the door. We were immediately getting calls from places like Roadside America and other small travel publications. We did, I think, CNN travel. It was really exciting.
It was going swimmingly until Donald Trump was elected.
The second he was elected and those 51st State comments started coming out, we got flooded with emails from our Canadian visitors, our tourists, our regulars, just saying, I am so sorry, I'm not coming down for the next 4 years.
Not only were fewer Canadians crossing the border to visit the Rubber Duck Museum in Point Roberts, the business was being clobbered by President Trump's ever-changing tariffs on Chinese imports.
Pretty much overnight, our entire business became unsustainable. We couldn't get anything for any price point that made sense. And we just put so much into this. You know, it was a sink or swim moment.
It actually became a no-brainer to come to Canada. Like, we love Canada. That's why we moved to Point Roberts to begin with. Canada aligns more with our values.
The new Rubber Duck Museum will open in Tsawwassen Mills next Monday.
We are going to have close to 4,000 to 5,000 different kind of ducks and various duck products such as bath bombs and soaps and, you know, little ducky cards and anything rubber duck related we are trying to bring in.
This one is from the 50s from Sunco.
There's also a collection of rare and antique rubber ducks on display that tell the story of the iconic toy.
We have some of them that we got directly from Sesame Street Workshop. We have 2 rubber ducks that have been used on screen by Ernie.
The Kings are betting it all on British Columbians embracing the first rubber duck store in Western Canada.
Our hope is that the store just brings that joy and wonder to Tsawwassen and Canada. We really want to make sure that this just keeps living on.
And if they can make a living at it too, well, that's just ducky. Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Tsawwassen.
So quirky. That's so fun. If you had a museum full of a quirky item, what would it be?
Wrestling figurines, absolutely 100%.
100% Christmas decorations, specifically blow molds. That'd be really cool.
But you're going to put them all over the set next week.
You tune in on Monday, you're not even going to see us. It's just going to be blow molds.
Pancake ice!
Yay!